hit me!
Yeah, if we go to print, episode 313. Yeah, 313.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins. It's a tech podcast. Or a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will.
It's always so weird to hear the shorter intro where Trent's name is not mentioned. Welcome, everybody. Another edition of NetHeads. My name is Will. Chilling with me in the background, if you're watching the video live or after the fact, is my good buddy Vector, along with something I'll talk about in a couple minutes, which I'm tickled pink about because its very existence just amuses me to no end, and that's a nice birthday gift that I got today. Got a lot of nice gifts. I have a family. I have a house, happy, toilet paper. So, a lot to be thankful for today as I complete my 48th revolution around the sun, and I start on my 49th? Or no, because if you go from 0 to 1, that means you've gone now 1 year. So I really have gone 49 revolutions. Now I'm working on revolution 50. Yeah. So anyway, welcome. If you want to take part in the program, you can. One of pretty much single ways. And that would be via Skype. NetHeads on air is the way to do it. Also, you can, although I make absolutely no promise in seeing it, use the hashtag NetHeads on Twitter, and I can try and follow along. But naturally, I've got a lot of different hula hoops, or plates that I'm trying to keep spinning. I don't know why I suddenly was going with like hula hoops or loops, but suddenly that was kicking in my mind. Apologies. Anyway, if you want to also take part on Twitter, you can try. I'm trying to keep everything going here all at once, which, you know, a lot of people are more than capable of doing. I'm just trying to load Skype since I mentioned it. Figured probably be best to have it running if you're going to say that you could use it. So let me fire that bad boy up. There we go. Nope. Don't want to sketch. Sorry. Try one more time. Usually working my computer is something I don't have such a hard time doing, but thankfully with the way Windows 10 is now, doesn't matter. I can just go ahead and type in Skype and it automatically pops up and then I can open it and ta-da. So that is running. NetHeads on air via Skype if you want to take part. Hashtag NetHeads, which I'll try and put somewhere so I can see it, because I do have my handy dandy trusty, there we go, alternative browser that I could also use when I'm sitting here, just looking at, you know, oh look, there's Twitter, there's me, and of course when I don't want to be seen, there's also Vector. May as well get some bit of business out of the way. Obviously, this is my third installment coming out of the San Francisco Bay Area, so now the entire state is kind of under similar guidance as we have here in, I'm in Contra Costa County within the San Francisco Bay Area, and we were told basically to shelter in place, which to the best of my ability I have done. I've only gone out for basically grocery store trips and delivering, you know, things to like family members. Brought some flour to my mom. So, you know, those have been, and we got a flat tire fix. So those are the only times I've been out of the house. I got to admit, I'm probably going to come off as a little crazy. Maybe I'm being a little hyper vigilant, especially given the fact that don't know how long we'll have the disinfecting wipes that we do, but we have been taking advantage of online shopping. And so to that extent, there was a point where I was taking a box from the porch, bringing it into the garage, and then from there, opening the box, taking the contents out, wiping them down into the house. So that way, everything coming in is clean. But then, you know, if you go to the grocery store, you don't know who's touched what and how long what lasts on any surface. So it's okay. You know, you know, where are you drawing your lines and where you're really getting bang for buck on your effort. Because really, it's all about not getting sick right now. So that's sometimes the extent I get to it. I guess it all depends on the tolerance level or the concept of what we've got. Thankfully, I was able to get some planning and some shopping in, so essentially we don't need to go out to get anything. We are considering take-in because today is my birthday. Ordering takeout, but delivered in. Not taken. I'm not implying I'm takeaway. I'm not going to get it. Maybe. I don't know. We haven't really thought that far ahead for today. It's just been a day, right? Mainly, I'm just saying that because, usually you do a little something special for your birthday, but then, this is the kind of thing where just staying healthy and being with family is special. So, why do you really need to take it to the next level? But then, with certain comforts come certain thoughts, and you're like, well, wait a second. Maybe instead, it would be nice to have somebody else cook dinner tonight. But then you got to weigh that. It's like, okay, well, I know a lot of restaurants are probably taking a lot of precautions, but is takeout something where you're just needlessly risking your health? These are the questions that we live with now, right? Those are the questions we have to ask. As a matter of fact, very interesting times today for my birthday. One of them, not even mine, my daughter got a delivery of the LED strip lights for her bedroom, so she's super excited about that. Those were supposed to arrive tomorrow, so now we are probably never going to see her today. Which kind of bums me out because the other big news for me for today was in relation to Onward. For me, when all of this stuff, I should really have like some background music or something, so it's not just the blatherings of some guy while he's talking. It sounds so empty. Unfortunately, I don't think I have anything just immediately in the sound bank right now, other than the theme from Doctor Who, which I don't have the rights to, so we should really just end those. Although, always attune that particular variant on a theme for the Doctor, I just always love because it sounds both mythical and whimsical in I don't know what way, because of course I'm not here to talk music. I don't really know music. But that is one that really definitely perks me up. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about a second ago. I got myself so sidetracked by, I should really have some music in the background. What's the point? Today, Onward came out as of 13 or 14 minutes ago. It's been available, at least here in the U.S. Now, when all of this started, when I started becoming aware of the severity of what's going on around me, in the ways that it's potentially going to impact us and all that stuff. The movie Onward was coming out, and I had tickets for the movie for, I think, the Sunday morning that it opened, which, just looking quickly at a calculator, or a calendar, is more of what I'm thinking. That would put us, sorry, I'm doing quick math here, so Sunday the 8th, so not quite 2 weeks ago, right? Does that add up? I think those are the dates. Yeah, so we were going to go see it Sunday the 8th, but it was that Saturday the 7th where I went to Costco to load up on meats and frozen vegetables and the like. And so that means that we're not even 2 weeks out, and now Disney and Pixar are either realizing now they're just in a recoup situation because theatrical just isn't going to do what they thought it would, because theatrical is not going to be there anymore. I'm sure this is the next iterative step we see for some movies that are scheduled for release now. It's like, you know what? This is just going to be a loss, guys. So you're going to have to figure out, do we really want to try and wait out releasing Black Widow on in the theaters, or do we just want to go with a digital delivery model for now, because that's our new normal. That's what it is. People aren't going to be going to theaters for a little bit of time or quite a bit of time. I'm sure they're playing it every step that they go, but at least one of the things that we've now seen is how they really can do rapid delivery of media from the basically the point of being in the theater to getting to be something you can watch at home. So I know one of the things that I really wanted to do for my birthday is watch that movie with my daughter in the comfort of our own home theater, which would be really nice. Even stepping back and breaking out some old technology right now with hooking up the Xbox 360 again, after the 20, 30 minutes it took for that thing to update itself because it haven't been on in so long. My youngest was able to burn out some energy with Fruit Ninja and with Just Dance, I think 2018 that's running on it right now. But, these are the things that you just got to start looking at. You got to start looking at some alternatives. I know that our school district is already trying to figure out what they're going to do academically and my daughter's in kindergarten, what they're going to be doing for kindergartners to ensure that they've got an active education going on to get us through the year, essentially, at least for the school year, if not longer. So that's interesting, and I'm sure I don't know what's going to go on at the high school level. You can't really guarantee kids having specific technology to be able to deliver things. And, it's almost like at the point where we may have to start looking to helping to supplement our infrastructure just to make sure everybody gets an education. It's like, hey, everybody, let's pitch in and buy a bunch of Chromebooks. But that, again, may be happening all over the place. And there could be a run on Chromebooks where the low-cost alternative is an educational computer system isn't even available. Plus, you got to be able to make sure they're online. And, how do you do that? Well, the most economical way, put everybody offer a space for them to do it. But you got to be socially distant. It's a no-win scenario. So, anyway, that's part of the new normal as well, right? We got to think about our kids and their educations. The part that really bums me out, like right now, amongst everything else, is the poor class of 2020. Because there was a very brief window where on social media there were memes and jokes about the class of 2020. This is what it's going to be like for them. And, it would be like they're sitting on with their cap and gown with the laptop in front of them with a printout at home of their diploma or an iPad showing the diploma. And now that's not really such a joke anymore. It's a potential reality that there's an entire class of kids that have worked hard and they put in their time and they're not going to be getting the traditional graduation and that experience and that opportunity to be able to put on the cap and gown and move the tassel from one side to another and shake somebody's hand and get the first really official piece of paper you get that you will carry throughout your life now as evidence that you did what you're supposed to do as a productive member of society. It's like, here it is. This is the level of education that is going to be the first of hopefully many that they will be validating you against, from here to eternity. So it is an accomplishment. And, that kind of, for them, it's a bit of a downer of an experience. But, at the same time, the important part that we all have is just to stay healthy. So that's really what's most important. And at least your particular experience will be definitely a unique one compared to most people. I know that most in their lives may not really remember or reflect on their 49th birthday, but for me, I will be. I will definitely be reflecting on my 49th birthday in the future. By knowing exactly what it was. It was my birthday at home with family. Nothing changing. You know what I mean? No, and really it is, with everything going on, it almost kind of seems, I keep saying grotesque, but a bit, it definitely feels awkward trying to have a good time. I guess that's one way to put it. But at the same time, that's all we can do, right? We've got to keep moving. We got to keep going from where we are now to the next step and the next step, and just kind of follow through on being responsible to yourself and to everyone around you, and just kind of taking all that energy and putting it to good use. I know that for us, another reason why today is interesting but terrifying is that just down the street, somebody had a fire today. And from the sounds of it, it sounds like they just wanted to use their fireplace maybe during a cold morning or something. But, well, no, because that happened in the afternoon. But, then it somehow spread from the chimney to their wall. And it's just like, of all the times to have property damage, this is not the one, right? So it's been an interesting day for a day not going anywhere, which, like everybody else, I'm more than okay about. Anyway, I really didn't look to accomplish a lot here other than to kind of sit down and have almost a bit of a verbal therapy session, I guess, with all of you, because there is a lot going on in the world right now. And, in some ways it just kind of feels good to get your perspective out there, expel some negative energy out, get it out of your system. And, for those of you who aren't under these conditions yet, to, kind of experience it from the inside out without having to be on the inside. Not that it's, really honestly, for me, and I know this is kind of a bit almost commonplace to say now, but this is really, as a person who has worked out of my home almost for the last 4 years, there is not much of an adjustment in my life right now because I was home very, very frequently. There would be days where I realized I hadn't driven my car in a number of days. And it's like, okay, well, one, do I really need a car at this point if it's going to sit there all that time? And really, do I need to? Anyway. It just makes you wonder. But for me, not leaving the house isn't so bad. Knowing that we've got food to be able to prepare at a moment's notice makes me feel good. So, especially everything going on, and especially feel and want to express appreciation to basically every person keeping every store open and running right now, because we do have a bit of a situation in some places where things are getting sold out fast still. But I also heard the other day, for example, that Walmart had almost every item required that people were looking for, except maybe toilet paper. But then again, that could have been because they were shopping in the evening and they'd already gone. Who knows? All I know is interesting times. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of, like I said, talk things out a little bit. I know that when I did this a little bit earlier, it definitely felt good to have interaction with people and to just kind of reach out, because it helps it helps with that feeling of not being quite so isolated, right? When you feel like you're talking to a potential audience of anyone, then it has you, it makes you feel better in a way. Like, for example, with everything that's going on, I know that there is a very active chat thread going on with my wife's entire family. So the level of family communication now has really gone up. And that's one way, of course, to also feel less isolated. You got to really take advantage of technology to interact with people. I'm sure there are people who thought they would never FaceTime somebody with their phones now, or have a hangout via their phones with somebody, and they're doing it now because it's nice just to see other faces. We're seeing a bigger trend on Instagram right now with people, celebrities and the like, taking advantage of Instagram stories, and they're bringing on people to also speak with them. And they're both accomplishing themselves, reaching out to somebody to feel less isolated, and they're providing all of us a distraction, a bit of entertainment that we're not connected, that we're not exactly connected with, but still it's an insight that's outside of our world. Michael Rev asking, how are you, dude? The answer is hanging in there, and that's really all you can do. Not to sound like a motivational poster in any way, but, that's what you got to do. You just got to hang in there. And that's why, It is kind of an interesting thing to marvel at everyone's experience going through this through the prism of social media as well, because you have some people that are they're using it as a way to provide information and news from their perspective. They're able to approach it comedically to help themselves feel better and maybe help other people feel better. And then there are those people that just use it to just in the exact same way that I'm abusing the ability to use Twitch to talk to you all right now. You know, it's just it's all a way of reaching out and feeling a part of the greater thing that's going on, and try and experience it, and maybe either help build each other up or commiserate together, because catharsis loves company. What are those things that look like hot dogs? Not sure what you're talking about there, unless you're referencing part of my neckline. Unless you're talking about the sonic screwdrivers above my head. That's what those are. Michael Rev also pointing out he loves my room. Thank you. It's not probably the typical 49-year-old's home office, but it is definitely a boy cave for a man. No, that sounds bad. That sounds horrible. It's a dad cave, a nerd cave, whatever you want to call it. But I have definitely cultivated it in a way that I really do at least enjoy coming in here, especially when I have to on a day-to-day basis. You know, little fluctuations happen here and there, like the addition of my friend Odin Abbott from Odin Makes on YouTube. Adding his sticker up there now. So that way, when I get to look at the screen, I get to feel happy because I see the stuff that I like. You know, Iron Man was kind of really big for me because of its, first of all, its creation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also it was amazing that they were able to take a story about a character that, you know, Iron Man is known, but it's not like he was, I mean, let's face it, he wasn't Captain Marvel, he wasn't Spider-Man, he wasn't the Fantastic Four, you know, some of the, even X-Men, I really think like Iron Man may kind of rank below all those in the general perception before the MCU. But also it's just a rewatchable great movie. Love the original Iron Man. And then Spider-Man, that goes all the way back to Youth from Electric Company, for gosh sakes, where I first made a connection with the character, and then, you know, it carried on through an exploration, learning about it and growing up, learning more and more about the character, you know, because as you age, you get different perspectives. For me, it was at first the Electric Company, and then I was also growing up in the area of the syndication of the 60s Spider-Man cartoon show. In the late 70s, there was the live action show. In my later youth and teens, there were the comics, and as an adult, every once in a while, there were the comics. So, and one was a gift from my family, or they may have both been. One facilitated the other for sure. I think the Iron Man may have facilitated the Spider-Man. Reverse those references. And thanks to Odin Makes, I've got the shield behind me as well. My Captain America shield knockoff made from, of all things, flooring mat foam. Who knew? And if you want to figure out how to make your own, it's a very nice option when you compare it against the cost of the really, I think it's like almost $200 for the screen authentic yada yada, probably even more, and plus much lighter weight to be able to carry around all the time. If you were to carry it around all the time, I don't. It hangs right there. That's why I've got it there. That's why I bothered making it, was specifically to hang on my wall. But then Avengers Endgame came on, and I find myself in a Captain America shirt, and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing as an adult going to a movie like this, but hey, that's life. Well, at least it used to be. So I myself am looking forward, like I said, to seeing Onward with my family, and I do have to give a special shout out to having a cool birthday, because my mother-in-law earlier dropped off this bad boy, which you see more to the left here. It is an R2-D2 inspired 3D printed holder for the Amazon Echo. So now, like, I can say, you know, computer, what's the weather outside?
In Brentwood, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Tonight, you can look for mostly clear skies with a low of 41 degrees.
So now the the little fancy puck that listens into everything we say and reports back to its lords and masters what my life is really like. At least now it's cute and looks like a droid, and it becomes company for Vector, who of course is deciding now of all times that it's required to take a nap. Hey Vector, explore, get out of here! Come on, dude. We're gonna be stuck here for a long time. You got to get out and move. There you go. There. And now he's also got the buddy with the computer with the robot right there. Michael Rev saying you should make a YouTube channel with all your wisdom. Actually, I have one. I think it's NetHeads on Air on YouTube. So you can go there, and this is kind of like the Twitch version of our podcast, NetHeads, but I just kind of come here to facilitate my thoughts when my co-host isn't available. That guy Blaine saying, gotta go eat supper. Nice listening to you. Happy birthday, dude. Thank you, sir. Blaine makes food on Twitter, I think, but definitely on TikTok if you want to check him out. And if you go to his channel today, and if you could just subscribe, I'd appreciate it, or follow. You just have to follow him, okay? The reason why is because his wife has gotten him to agree to a bet that if by today, and I don't know if the end time has passed, but if it hasn't, we just need him to have 100 followers before he goes to play Doom, and he will play as the Doomicorn, I think is the name of the character. And I forgot about that. Really should have gone on earlier to try and hope people may just stumble across me to be able to go on the gag of getting him to 100 followers. My moderator bot just squashed him, probably because he was trying to paste in Doomicorn is my guess. So if you happen to follow his channel, please, I beg of you. I actually opened another account just to follow him again. And you didn't say that each follower had to be unique. Ha-ha. So hopefully he will get nabbed with the responsibility of being Doomicorn. Oh, wow. Now, you see, you tell him to explore, and he's getting all chittery there. And as a matter of fact, too, that was another weird thing. We're living in weird times, man. Here, look at him for a second. I showed this on the TikTok as well. NetHead WW on TikTok. But somebody, and I'm guessing it's somebody I know, because how else? But they sent me another Vector. I guess they thought they were being cute. So now I've got another one here in a box. And I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't know what I would do with two of these little things running around somewhere. I mean, what am I going to... I could put another one underneath the television, so there's one always running around on the TV stand. But that's distracting when you're trying to watch TV. So, and it's not like I want one of these rolling around on my nightstand, because it would constantly be making noise. Hopefully not. I mean, he's very active when I'm trying to have confident calls here from my home office. So that does get a little intrusive. So definitely not going to have one of those in my bedroom. That's for sure. Excuse me, I had to wet the whistle a little. But yeah, I both laughed and am left to wonder what the heck on sending me another one of these things. Although I'm envious to anybody that is buying them right now, because they're 1/2 to 1/3 of the price when they originally went on Kickstarter and retail. So good on you guys for being able to get a value, because I know at the time I sure didn't. I love that R2 holder. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on a little bit, say hey to everybody, just kind of reach out to the world, see what bounced back, and just kind of provide hopefully a reassuring voice to everybody that, don't worry about the future. Just focus on the now and keep your hands clean and keep your mind clean too. Well, okay, maybe not. As a matter of fact, it'll be interesting to see the number of births that happen in January or December or January of this year, because that is forthcoming. I predict it. A lot of little girls and boys, Ronnie and Rona, maybe. Just saying. Probably not. That would probably be horribly dark. Well, what a way to end. What a moment to call it on. But anyway, thanks everybody for dropping in on this, for either taking part or listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Only because you know what, there is no other you. There's nobody else that's exactly like you. So if you're spending any time with me, I appreciate that. And speaking of which, I'm going to go now do what I should do, which is to spend time with my family. So thank you very much for dropping in this brief little confessional, if you will, from being sheltered in place here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And you know, as always, my name is Will, and very hopefully I'll be back soon.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. Signing off. I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it. NetHeads. NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.